Welcome back. This is the last video in the sales search series, and what we're going to do is we're going to work on this property right here. In the previous videos we worked on this properties, and in the last video we looked at how we go about finding whether a buyer is cash or not, or has purchased a property cash or not. And I've already taken a step forward here, looking to get, checking the deed and getting this information. Okay, so I'm gonna do briefly. I'm gonna go back to Acris. Okay, and we should know how to get into Acris by now. It shouldn't be an issue. And what I'm going to do is going to put that property in. So we're doing Brooklyn. Let me just minimize this slightly, and then I'll bring this over, and I'll put this back up. Doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and the lot is 65. Remember, we're doing this property right here. Let me hit search. Now the first thing I did was determine whether this was a cash deal or not, whether the buyer bought it all cash, and we have determined that they purchased the property for $755,000 and there's no mortgage above this, so we can assume that the deal was purchased cash. Okay, we then go here, try to find out some more information about the property, and again we look what we can find. I've taken these steps already, but I just want to walk you through them very quickly. Okay, now this is typically the buyer's attorney or the new owner's attorney, so we would take that information down, but we're going to double check it before. And here's the buyer's information, the seller and the buyer. If you notice, they use the property address. Okay, this is the property in question. It's very important to note that, okay, because we don't want that address, because the assumption is that the buyer doesn't live there, or the owner doesn't live there. See, this is the property address, so this is the incorrect address, and we're not going to use that one. What we do is we double check though, and we always come to this and witness by in between the first few paragraphs. If you look at this closely, it does have the address, okay, which is the buyer. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to scroll up. This is Devin Prince having an address of the first part, and this is the buyer right here having an address, so it's the same address in that document as well. Again, I always check the first or second paragraph of the first page of the actual document. But the first page here is really just a cover letter, or cover page. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to move on, and remember, the document we look for is the real property transfer report. Okay, it shows us a couple of things. There's usually two of them to every document. Sometimes there's more. It shows us the sale price, $755,000, and if you scroll down to the bottom, we have the buyer's signature, date, and it has the address. Obviously, this lines up with the property, so we're not going to use this, and we don't need the seller's information. I want you to take note of this phone number right here, 212-344-8000, and what I do is I just double check it with the number on the front, on the first page. Even if I don't have that, I still, there's no attorney on the first page, I still write down that number in the attorney's phone number section, because this is the buyer's attorney, last name, first name, and then the phone number. And that number is pretty common. We should at least be able to obtain that. Let me see, try this again. Okay, and the numbers match. So I take this information and I put it into the Excel spreadsheet, which I have already done. Okay, so let's just shoot to page 7. We have Department of Environmental Protection, and it just gives basics: property address, owner's name. Okay, and we have all of that thus far. Okay, and it has a signature, and again it's 87 Park Place Realty LLC. Okay, so nothing there, and obviously we cannot make out what that signature is. Okay, and then we just scroll down and we notice the same document and the number by itself. Okay, so now once we've done this step, and obviously we have a very empty spreadsheet. We don't have really any contact information for the owner except this number right here. Okay, so what we do at this point is we would go to White Pages and look up this number right here. Sorry, this company in White Pages, and we'd also look up the property address. I did that already, and we came back with nothing. And the purpose of this video is to talk about the next step after you've searched with the White Pages and you've done those searches and you've come back with nothing. The next step now is to go to divisions of corporations. Okay, and I've given you the link to this website, and you're gonna type in this box right here, 867 Park Place. You don't want to get too specific. You kind of want to leave it like this, and you want to hit search. Now sometimes when we do these searches, we're able to get a real address for the owner of the property, or we'll get another company that the owner owns, that has a CO for the company, and I'll explain that in a second. If we notice here, this section usually has some owner information, or the owner's this CO, which means that this person is able to do business for the owner. Okay, and if you notice, this is the attorney information that we already have filled out here. Okay, and we got the number from there. We scroll down. Sometimes you may find information here, most of the time you don't. Okay, so this is a bad search and nothing came up, except we know that, we feel a little bit more confident about contacting the attorney. Okay, then we go to the buildings department. We have building information search, and we would put in the borough, which is Brooklyn, the block 1234, I believe. I think it's 58. Let me just double check. Just give me a second. Sorry, 65. Okay, and then we just hit enter. Now the only thing we're going to check here is the permits, see if they were issued or not, and we would hit permits in progress or process or issued, and it comes up here, no previously permits found for this property. Okay, so at this point, we've done basically all we can do for this property. The next step, or our next step here at Englestone, would be to contact this attorney and to obtain the buyer's information. And once we have that, we can add them to our list. These people are going to go into our database eventually, and we're going to email them prospective properties that they may be interested in. So, we get the contact information, with this attorney. We'll give them a friendly call and ask him to reach out to his people, his investors of any property that they may be interested in, and that have the ability to purchase all cash, like this person has. Okay. We may, if I were, not doing a video, I may just Google this just to see what comes up. If there's another property that may come up, we definitely would want to know about that. Or another, maybe we can attach a name to that company. But this is an incomplete listing, but it's the most that we could do with the circumstances. And even though it's not a complete listing, we have enough to make it a complete listing. And I can't stress enough the importance of having either the attorney or the owner's phone number. Okay, it's very important. It helps make things streamlined, and with that information we can get these other items as well. Okay, well, you've seen how to search the building entities, Department of State. Again, you should have the sheet with the email, with the web address, and you also we also checked the Department of Buildings to see if there were any permits filed in the new owner's name, and we were unable to find that as well. But the point of it is how the search goes. Okay, again, it's the last video. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or call me. Take care.